With you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody out there. So my name's Maleeha, and you are tuning into my new live TV show called Chronicles. So it's going to be starting from next week, but I'm just going to give you kind of a short introduction into what you can expect. So Chronicles is going to be a radio show that takes a deep dive into womanhood, aspects of how women go through different emotions and feelings, and just kind of a well-being check now and then, and kind of taking a deeper dive into women's mental health especially. So I think when I think of womanhood, I kind of associate that with femininity, strength, and kind of just hormones as well. But it's a personal journey that is a very long journey, but through that you experience so many different relationships, so many different, hardships, but also positive situations, challenges. But, it's also a diverse experience for everyone, and everyone has their own perspectives of womanhood worldwide. So kind of what I really want to do is kind of explore how being a woman, I don't feel like young women especially's mental health are talked about enough. And as a young woman myself, I've never really listened to a radio show where I could feel like my feelings and what I was going through was really kind of seen as relatable. Through the use of social media, I kind of do see that being a big part of especially women who go through hardships. They are showing it through on social media, but not really mainstream media. So I want to ask you guys, I want to ask you as an individual, what does your well-being mean to you? It's a hard question, I think, but for me, my well-being is really, those two words kind of go together, like happiness and well-being for me, as I would like to say that my best self, my best mental well-being is me just being happy and being okay with any situation thrown at me. But of course that's kind of unrealistic given the world we live in, and of course we're allowed to feel upset if things don't necessarily go the way you planned. However, we're going to be kind of looking into ways that we can protect our mental well-being and ways we can protect our energy and really understand our feelings and not just push them aside, because I definitely know I am a person to kind of just push my feelings away and not really open up. But what I want you to take away from this is your feelings matter, and it's a hard journey to understand that, you're allowed to feel upset if certain situations don't go your way. And it's okay to not be okay, really. I also kind of want to talk about taking care of your physical health, and what that kind of means to you, as well as your emotional health. But for me, when I think of physical health, I guess we've been told that the best way to deal with this is through exercise, which of course I do think does help. From what people have told me, exercising has really helped them really push through feelings and feeling a lot more motivated and ready to take on challenges by exercising. But for me, I think taking care of my physical health, I'm not really that into exercising per se. Of course, it's very important to exercise though. So I feel like just doing any sort of like movement. So, that could involve dancing. It can involve, going to the gym or working out at home. where you feel most comfortable in, and maybe you can invite your friends or your family to join in as well. I think that will really help your physical well-being, is through enjoying things and not feeling like it's a chore and something you're just probably going to drop anyway after doing it because you're just not that interested. Like, I know for me, like, working out can be it can be kind of repetitive and boring at times, but I feel like if you find the best way to keep yourself entertained and you feel like you're pushing yourself and you're also trying out new things as well, that will help you pursue your goals in terms of being physically healthy. But I think in terms of emotional well-being, it's hard to really know. I mean, for me anyway, to know what exactly I can do to be the better version of myself. But these are ways, I guess, throughout the years so far, and I guess it's now New Year's Eve, but these are things that I can reflect on and say, actually, you know what, that really did help me just grow. And I think reading for me was a huge part to play in doing things that were really going to better myself. I've never really been much of a reader, but I recently read a book called Misfits in Love, which I think anyone who really wants to get into reading should read that book. It's kind of a healing book. Well, for me anyways, when I was kind of just reflecting on this year, I really looked at that book as kind of, advice on how to really heal through experiences I went through this year. And I just feel like I could relate to the character, as she did a lot of learning throughout the year and she explored different friendships and different relationships with her family members that she never thought she would, and seeing like different sides to people and how we're not always going to see the best versions of each other, including you, but also just like understanding that we need to have deeper conversations about how we feel and how a person has made us feel. And I think, wow, like that character really made me feel like, okay, you know what? This is exactly what I was feeling. And I don't know, I just felt seen, which was a really nice feeling. So I think reading for me is definitely on my New Year's resolution list. I think another thing for me is just kind of enjoying my hobbies, finding the right hobbies for me. And I know when people think of hobbies, they think of really extravagant hobbies, such as, like, I don't know, going to a watercolor art lesson or something like that. But it doesn't have to be like that. I think for me, just even like puzzling, I find really therapeutic. It challenges my brain, but at the same time, when I get the right puzzle piece, there's no feeling that's better than that. And I just think like you can do puzzling with loads of people. It's a nice group activity, I think, as well. I think engaging in in activities, maybe activities that are kind of out of your comfort zone, can really benefit you in terms of like your self-confidence and, kind of getting to know new people, going outside of your bubble. Like for me, I went to an event that was hosted by ARU back in, I believe, August. And it was kind of just an event where you get to explore the university, the new university we have here, but also get to get career opportunities, get involved in different groups in our community that I wasn't even aware of, that there are so many out there and are also free as well. But I found that going to that initially, I was quite nervous because I felt, oh, I'm going to be meeting new people. It may be awkward. But I feel like maybe taking a friend with you or taking, a family member with you or not being by yourself will make you feel a bit more better and a bit more at ease, that you will want to engage with other people and you will start to kind of build that confidence in getting to know new people, and also asking questions about these different events taking place and how you can get involved if you are interested. But yeah, by going to the event, I felt really, really happy in the moment, because I felt, you know what, I'm actually exploring my options, getting to know new people, building connections. Although I was quite nervous and I did feel out of my comfort zone, but being there, being around those energies, I felt completely welcomed and comfortable. And I just kind of stuck in right into the activities. I believe they had like a career side, and then they also had like an activity side where you could design your own tote bag, which was quite fun because I'm quite creative like that. I love glitter, I love color, so I was just kind of going crazy with that. And I took my friend with me, and from doing that, you know, she just made it even more better, because I just feel like we made memories as well. And also just exploring the university and speaking to a few lecturers as well who were there was very, very interesting, as I was going to university as well. So kind of speaking to them about my worries about university really helped me. And also just questioning them about certain aspects of their job, and also like why they chose to be lecturers was very interesting to me as well. But yeah, I think by doing these things, by just getting out of your comfort zone, will really, really benefit you. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's really not. But I think finding the right person to go with you, or, you know, having the courage to go by yourself and make, you know, maybe new friendships and new connections, and also just have a good time. And maybe you'll want to go out to different events after that. I think you just need to make the first step. It's a hard step to make, but once you make it, I really do think you're going to be proud of yourself, and it will really benefit you. Another thing that I think will really help your emotional well-being, well, for me, it really helped, was kind of exploring new friendships as well. So by going to these events, I kind of did create friendships with different people, and, you know, different energies. For me, I think meeting people who are just completely opposite to me really intrigues me, because I'm just so more inclined to ask them questions about, you know, just their favorite music artists, you know, what are they doing in their life, like what are they studying, if they're in education still, you know, why did they choose to come to this specific event. I think asking questions makes people feel like you actually care and you want to have a conversation with them, not just a basic conversation, but a deeper conversation where you're actually getting to know one another. And I just think as well, going back to the book thing, it will really improve your concentration by reading, or just, I don't know, even listening to a podcast, a radio show. For me, I really like listening to the podcast, The Digital Sisterhood. I actually started to listen to them back in 2022, but I found major like inspiration from them to add into my TV show, where we do speak about young women and their experiences they go through, and the good and the bad times, and also just what it really means to be a sister to one another, and what it also means to be a woman that you're proud to look at every single day in the mirror. But all in all, I do think her Chronicles is really gonna help you see maybe a different side to yourself, and also just to see, like, by accepting your emotions and your social experiences and your personal growth, you may see, when you look in the mirror, you may then see like the woman you always envisioned yourself to be. And yeah, womanhood can be across different cultures and periods, and it's important to celebrate the diverse experience and perspectives of women worldwide, you know. Everyone has different experiences, and hopefully I will get people on to talk about, you know, what they seem like, what womanhood is to them, and how they've gone through hardships, and also how they've discovered a new part of themselves through trying new things, new opportunities, getting to know new people. And yeah, I think we especially young women need to prioritize mental well-being more, because, you know, you see on social media that, you know, we see devastating things on social media, and we go through hardships, and I think we need to kind of understand that we can't put ourselves in a position if we know that our emotional well-being will be damaged by this. And I know I'm one of those people who kind of says yes or no to something immediately without thinking about how it's going to make me feel, first of all. And so this for me is going to be a journey, a long one, that is going to be prioritized to, we want to be at our best mental health. And through that, we need to take care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. And ways we can do this are also through sleeping. So sleeping can provide you with so much energy and stamina needed to pursue and nutrition and to just take on the day. I think having a sleeping pattern that works well for you can help you massively. You know, like, for me, I'm very much like to go to sleep early as possible, because I don't know, I'm basically an old person at this point, because I just like sleeping early. So like probably around 10ish I like to go to sleep, and I find that sleeping for more than 9 hours, I want to say, will benefit you massively in the long run, as it will make you feel, once you wake up, you'll feel so much more energized. And also finding the right time to wake up, so, you know, setting that alarm, not snoozing it, you know, getting through the alarm phase to the point where you wake up before your alarm is where you want to be. Trust me, it will make your life so much more easier. And I think just by waking up earlier will make you feel so much more productive, and make you feel like you want to make your whole day, you know, you want it to benefit you. So for the other day coming along, you know, you feel like you've gotten all your tasks out of the way. By going to sleep around, I don't know, like 3 o'clock in the morning I don't know how people are doing that, first of all. That is crazy to me, but I don't think it will really help you, because you'll only be sleeping in for longer, and then the morning's gone. And, you know, you wake up and you just will feel quite sluggish. Maybe you'll feel tired even though you just slept, but because you went to bed so late, you basically have no energy. So creating a sleeping pattern, sticking to it, getting your alarm sorted, kind of also making a to-do list as well really, really helps you, because I'm very forgetful. Even though I know what needs doing, I still kind of push it to the back of my mind thinking I will suddenly remember it, but that's not always the case. So creating a checklist, you know, the night before, you have your boxes already there, so you're ready to tick them off once you've done them. And then, you know, you kind of look at that checklist and you think, okay, well, I need to do this, this, and this, so I need to wake up around this time. You know, planning out your day more will help you so much. And then from there, the best feeling is when everything is ticked off your checklist and you can just scrunch it up, throw it in the bin, and you don't have to see it again. I think just planning out your days, getting through those tasks, finding motivation, getting a sleeping pattern, but also just enjoying the smaller things in life. Let's say you know, kind of have a boring day ahead of you, finding, you know, interesting things to do also will benefit you massively as well. So for me, when I'm like having one of those dreadful days where it's just like chore after chore, but you know, I keep going and I'm persevering. I often find I will kind of, you know, reward myself. I don't know, maybe eat a whole box of chocolates, whatever works for you. Um, and also just, I think finding the little things to enjoy, such as maybe you FaceTime your friend who you've not spoken to in a while. And I think the best thing at times is friendship remedy. So, kind of when your friend makes you just laugh, and it will really just make you uplift your day, really. I think also, like, you know, watching your favorite TV shows, you know, just enjoying things that you like to do. Maybe you want to go outside and enjoy the warm weather. I know we don't have any right now, it's quite depressing, but you can, you know, kind of find your winter girl aesthetic, I guess. Oh, one thing that really, really helps me is if I'm having like a boring day, I love like looking on, you know, for the perfect outfit that is like gonna go well for winter because I don't really dress. I don't really like winter, so I think for me, I find it hard to dress up like when it comes to wearing coats and jackets because I'm just not really a coats person. Like I can wear jackets but not really coats. So I think maybe just taking time out to enjoy things I like to do and find new aesthetics, getting a new Pinterest board, just finding inspiration on how to dress for this miserable weather. But hopefully it will get better and we can move into the summer. And yeah, I'm definitely more of a summer person. I think because it's winter time and it does get dark earlier, this can really play a part to our, you know, how we feel about, you know, the darkness as well. So it can really dampen your mood if you look outside and it is getting dark earlier. I don't think it's just kind of like seasonal depression and it's just not great, you know. It's December time. You want to enjoy the winter time, but not the darkness aspect. So, one thing I think that could really help is distracting yourself. Kind of don't fall into that trap. Don't like, I feel like your mind's tricking you by saying, you know, I'm just seasonal depression. Don't think of it as that. Think of it as, okay, don't like the weather right now, but inshallah, like it will get better. And, you know, we will see the lighter days and the days will be longer. And just think of it as a main character moment, you know? You're just living your best life right now in the winter and it will get better, inshallah. But yeah, I think this show will really help you if you are struggling with, let's say, seasonal depression or just struggling with your emotions right now. Maybe you've gone through a lot, especially reflecting on 2023. Maybe it was a great year for you, alhamdulillah, and maybe it wasn't, but everything is a learning lesson and everything does get better. You just have to go through the tunnel at times. But I hope, inshallah, you are looking at this year and seeing the positive things because there's always positive things in a negative situation. And maybe you're now seeing the goodness in the hardships you were given, even though maybe you might not be seeing that now, but you might be seeing that, you know, looking down the line next year, inshallah. But if you really think about this year, I know for me, it was, I guess the best way to describe this year for me was kind of tackling my fears and facing them. An example of this would kind of be going to university. That was kind of a fear for me, given that when I first went to university last year, it wasn't the best experience. But now, alhamdulillah, I can say I am really enjoying going to university, enjoying my course, the people around me, and I feel very passionate about my course. And we will now be having an ad break.
Stay tuned to